All right. See how this is gonna go out today, guys. Welcome to ARS Goalkeeping on the latest live video. We're gonna be checking out these new gloves, the Adidas Predator Pros. All right, let's see who's gonna jump on. What do you guys want to know? This is literally, I think, my second time putting them on. Really excited about this actually because of this newer backhand. And I don't know if you guys can really see it on the webcam, but the biggest thing about this backhand is it's a lot like the Prime Knit. I don't know if you guys have worn any of the newer Adidas cleats, and they use that inner tube sock. This inner tube sock, they actually ended up going with the backhand here, and it grips a lot more onto the backhand. And it feels a lot tighter, and it's a different feel. I wasn't expecting this from the backhand because actually when we look at the fingertip or the fingertip version of the Predators, it does not have a backhand like this. This is a brand new styled backhand. Fits a lot better than the older Ace. I didn't think they could change it, but they actually changed it up and made the fit a lot better. You can see I went actually with a size 9 in this, but let's take the fingertip for comparison right here. And when you look at the fingertip, the quality or the build quality of this backhand is a lot different. And I got this for about $120 and this is about $129. And for the difference of about $10, you should definitely go with the Adidas Predator Pro. I do really like the Adidas fingertip, but if you can just see that this is a different type of material. It's a lot softer. There's no real strong shape to it. It isn't really stitched. And then you look at this, and right here, it's a lot tighter. It feels almost like that Prime Knit material, and it looks just like that Prime Knit material. And then the punching platform is the same style we've been seeing Adidas go with. It's kind of just glued on top here. I don't expect them to have much issues with coming off. I haven't had any issues with the backhand of the fingertips, which I have been using in field. I have been using them for the past week or so. I actually really like the fingertips. I wish I went with them a size down. And that's just because with the fingertip, the seamless backhand just doesn't do the cut for a roll finger well enough. And what I mean by that is when you see me put this baby on, you'll see that there's already like space right here. There's not much shape to the backhand holding up that roll finger. And you look at this and you see it's already bubbling here. Normally you'd have a nice backhand with some embossed latex or something to hold the shape here and keep it straight up without making it kind of bobble up or bubble up. And that's something that I came to a realization with this fingertip version, that I liked it, but man, if they could have gone with the same Prime Knit style on this backhand, and you can see it on the wrist entry area as well. Completely different wrist entry area, much tighter fitting. It actually opens up. It feels just like one of the newer Adidas cleats, which I think is exactly what they ended up doing. They are not a hybrid between it. These are just a fingertip. The fingertip is a roll finger cut. This is not a hybrid. Raphael, I am Colombian. Negative cut. I do think, especially for Adidas, negative cut is probably the best. I would totally go with negative cut. What's it like punching with them? I mean, I haven't punched on the negatives yet, or the Adidas Predator Pros, but I punched with this style. I mean, it's a softer punching platform. The whole backhand is a lot just looser, so I wouldn't say it's a very good punching glove if you're much of a puncher. R3 Shades, I'm happy to be of assistance in helping you out. Are you going to get the Predator cleats? Yeah, if I can. I kind of like to go with, instead of the Predator cleats, I'd probably check out the Nemesis first because I really like the look of the Nemesis. What does the fingertip do? There's a little bit of latex on the fingertip pretty much, and it's a rolled latex to rolled finger cut. You can see it right in here. Favorite glove of all time? It's a hard choice. I mean, every year they make great gloves, so I can't really pick a favorite glove of all time. I remember the gloves that really started to get me into trying out other gloves was Calier, the AM64, which is a really good glove. What are they like for the winter, Alex? Adidas fingertips, I mean, they do have the Clima Warm version. I have used the Clima Warm version of both of these gloves. The Clima Warm version has a lot like pretty much that material that you get on your shirts on the inside of the gloves. They work decent. I mean, it's good. I'd try out the Clima Warm before going for one of these if you want a glove just for cold water, or I mean a cold winter. Were you born in Colombia? No, I was the only one in my family to be born in the United States. So I'm kind of like a little bit here, a little bit there. Is the fingertip as flimsy as the ace fingertip? Yes, it is. That's one of the things. They have not improved the backhand on the fingertip. Why does Ter Stegen use fingertip? I don't know. It all comes down to comfort. Maybe he likes to cut better. Maybe they do a different style of fingertip for him. I do prefer Adidas gloves. Nike hasn't changed up their gloves in quite a while, but I mean, I love Nike gloves as well. I like to try out all types of gloves. De Gea, Neuer, easily, every day. Are they good through rough field and dirt and rain? I wouldn't say any Adidas gloves would be good in pretty rough fields. I think Adidas gloves rip a lot easier and their latex gives out a lot easier. I mean, the latex on these gloves, you can hear them actually like grip onto it themselves. They're really, really, really grippy right out of the bag. I don't even want to take off the plastic of this yet because I want to preserve the grip right until I get up to the field. Right now, no, I'm not playing games. It's a little harder for me to go out to train right now. Adidas Predator League. I do have the Adidas competition somewhere around here. I would say not to go for Adidas Predator competitions if that's what we're talking about. One of the lower level Adidas gloves. It's a lot flimsier for $50 or $60 that they're going for. I wouldn't go for them. I tell you, go West Coast Goalkeeping, go the One Glove Company, go Meta GK, go NGA. Those are the guys that come to my mind right away. Alan, I would like to do a test video on the Cells glove. I'm going to see what I can find, and we will get there. Somolas, I was living in Germany. The bad thing was that while I was living in Germany last month, my mother was diagnosed with cancer, and I had to come back home to take care of her. So right now I'm in the United States to take care of my mother who has been diagnosed, and I will be taking care of her for as long as I have to. Ace Trans Pro or Predator glove? I'm going to go with just on look and feel right now. Predator gloves, definitely. The Ace Predator Pro is really nice with this new backhand. What gym routine would I recommend to my academy goalkeepers? Gym is all about core and plyometrics. I would highly work on core plyometrics, squat jumps, box jumps, squats, anything that can work those areas. Ronaldo Brazil, Ronaldo Portugal, Messi, or Pele? Who's the best? Ronaldo Brazil. Ronaldo the number 9 or the first number 9. I loved watching him. I almost got my hair cut his style back in I think the 2002 World Cup. So definitely Ronaldo from number 9 Ronaldo. Kasper Schmeichel comes from really good stock, guys. I mean that's a great goalkeeper with a great goalkeeper as a father. He's only going to keep on doing well, and I think he's going to last for a very long time. I think he's going to be close. I don't know if he'll be ever up to his father's standard just because of his height and his size. He's not as big as his dad, but he's definitely a great goalkeeper, and he's already made waves more than once. Ich kann sprechen ein bisschen Deutsch, aber ist nicht so gut. Ich kann verstehen viel besser. What's the big difference between the Adidas Predator Fingertip and Adidas Predator Trans? ASON or Nike Confidence? I would go with the Predator Pros. For the guys who just came in and haven't seen this yet, the backhand is absolutely new, absolutely innovative. Prime knit backhand, a huge step up from their last Ace Trans Pro model, and even a huge step up from their fingertip model. So right now, this is the glove to beat when we're talking about negative cut gloves, especially with the fit, especially with the latex, like top level stuff here. Easiest way to cut weight, eat correctly and work out right. Liam Hughes, good choice. Carson Del, why do Spanish goalkeepers tend to use their feet more? Spanish league is a lot more technical. If you look at La Liga, it is a lot much more ball at the feet. They allow players to have a little more space to do those technical things. So Spanish soccer is a lot more technical. They play with the goalkeeper a lot more. So that's why you normally see Spanish, even back in South America, they have to play with their feet. And a lot of the times I get South American goalkeepers that are coming out that don't have any hand technique, but they have great feet. So it's really weird to see that difference. Callum, what is my favorite save? Sorry, guys, you guys are asking so many questions. I'm just kind of picking the first ones I see. What my favorite save? That's a really hard one. I mean, my favorite saves are actually those low smothers that those shots that just know it's a well taken shot that just dips down and scuffs the ground and pops up right before you. When the keeper can catch it on that scuff and just smother it in front of a bunch of strikers running in. I love those types of saves because that's really safe hands. Any safe hand save. And then personally, the saves that I've made, I mean, you know, everyone's gonna love a penalty, but full stretch low dive saves are always huge. And I really love when I make a save to my weak side. With my weak side saves, I always remember them. Would I ever review a pair of low-end gloves again? Yes, Danny. I am waiting for some of those glove companies to send out gloves. It's been a little harder. I had a few gloves being sent out, and then I had to, again, come back from Germany back to the U.S. to take care of my mother. So that kind of put a damper on my plans for reviews and plans for giveaways. I also lost my baggage, so I lost all of my YouTube stuff for a while, and I just got all that stuff back. But we are back. I'm in the middle of reviewing these gloves, the Predator Pros that just came in last night, the fingertips that came in last week, and the Copas that I've been using for the past few days. Awesome cleats, awesome gloves, huge reviews coming out. I hope you guys do check them out. Let me get to the next question. Oh, man. Can you help me? I'm level under Academy. How do you think I can push for this now? So I would have to know a little bit more, like what are your issues? What's stopping you from getting into Academy? Is it a money thing? Is it a skill thing? What's stopping you there? Everyone asks what height I am. I am 5'10" or 179 centimeters, I believe, or 1.79 meters. I definitely prefer Manuel Neuer to David De Gea. Does height give a keeper an advantage? Compare 5'11" to 6'3". So 5'11" is pretty close to where I'm at. I'm a 5'10". Sometimes I like to say I'm 5'11". That is still under 6 foot, and goalkeeper coaches will notice that. Head coaches will notice that. If you're playing in a very competitive league that has to deal with a lot of high balls, and there's another goalkeeper that might not have your hands and might not have the same abilities you do, but is really tall, he still might get that position, because once you're that height, strikers can still beat you, and at bigger levels. Like when I was playing in Germany, I mean, kids were 16 years old and they had 5 inches on me, and like it was absolutely nerve-wracking to see them running down the field, because I knew even at my highest point they could still catch that ball with their head. So it was a lot of dealing with high balls, and that's the first thing that any good coach is going to do when they see a shorter goalkeeper. They're going to test them in the air, and if your air game isn't good enough, and a lot of times because you're shorter, it will not be as good as a taller goalkeeper. It's going to hurt you. So I mean, yes, height does have a disadvantage if you're shorter. Does it mean that, like, no, you're not going to make it because you're shorter? Not at all. There's shorter goalkeepers that make it happen, but that's just for you to know that there is a bit of a disadvantage. It just makes it so that you have to improve, work on that, and make it one of your strong points, or make it so that what makes you a good goalkeeper outshines maybe that lower area. So like maybe if you're bad at high balls, but you got the right footwork and you can get to the ball first before everybody, then you might be getting good at high balls if you end up using your technique correctly. So yes, height does have a disadvantage, but you can still work over it. What is the difference between League and Standard Ace Trans Pro? The League Trans Pro, I mean, give me 1 minute, guys, and let me go find these gloves. I have them here. All right, and we're back. So these might not necessarily be the League. These are the competition. You can see it right here, competition. like, just from looking at it, I can tell you the stitching is nowhere near the quality of the fingertips, and even less closer to the quality of the Predator Pros. And that's just because it's a cheaper glove and it's being sold at a much lower level. And you know, when you're going for 50 bucks from Adidas, I wouldn't go for 50 bucks from Adidas anymore. These are about 50, $60. It starts out as a negative cut, which is cool. I like that, you know, but it's a weird negative cut. It's still not a tight negative cut fit. There's no air, there's no holes in the latex here for breathability. And then it's not negative on the thumb. It's this weird flat, just it's not worth the money, you know. I bought this mostly to try to be able to show you guys. I went with the size 10. This is like, it fits okay. Yeah, it actually fits pretty decent, but you can tell with the feel just right away. The comfort is nothing like what an Adidas glove should be. It's just one of the cheaper gloves, and the latex is, I mean, it's okay. This is some super soft latex, not recommendable at all. Any advice for coaching U10? Start out with just technique. Collapse dives, they don't need to learn how to fly just yet. Anything that comes to frame, that's what they should be working on. Working on getting over that fear and controlling their body. U10 is very fun for me because it's great to see them, and then see they're like, you're very, very uncoordinated at that age if you're not already playing some type of sport, or you're like a gymnast child. So they have a hard time just shuffling through cones or stepping forward, or try making them jump with their right foot and land with their left foot. It's like your brain will shut down. All that stuff ends up happening in goalkeeping. So you can help them get those body synapses and those connections being made already by just doing footwork, telling them walk through the cones, step through the cones, let me see you dive out and lift up your left leg, or always jump with your leg up. Those type of things can actually seriously help them and start building a good foundation for what you're going to build into if they continue goalkeeping. What did I do to play Division II soccer? So I played Division II soccer at Newberry College. I had a few offers for schools in Miami, for schools all over the place. But D2 was probably my best offer, and not only that, but it was probably the school that best fit me. And in the end, I hated the school, so I ended up leaving it. But my time at the D2 soccer was good, and how I got it was going to a bunch of combines, getting invited to a bunch of open tryouts where you play in front of coaches, where you have a game in front of coaches. I was on several different teams. I emailed coaches every weekend, every night. I would tell them, hey man, I'm going to be out at this game playing this time. You should come out and see me. Now, does that mean they'll ever come out? Most of the time they don't come out, but that will actually make them look in the newspaper and see, oh, that kid who said he was going to be playing played a game and won. And if they wrote about me in the newspaper, he's going to be like, okay, so it gets them thinking about you. And if this question leads into how do I get into a college team, it's all about being proactive and making sure the coaches that you want have some type of way to see your name. And that's by you getting in contact with them, or your coach getting in contact with them, and getting yourself in positions where people are looking at you and talking about you. He might not come to your game, or she might not come to your game, but they will and could send out a friend or ask a coach that they might have known that are close to that match. Sport grip is amazing, way better than Adidas. I'm going to have to agree with you there. Super grip is the best grip on the market, and that is why Sport is such an expensive glove. But that's because they make their gloves in house. Like, everything is made at Sport. The latex is made at Sport, and they are unique. That super grip is only at Sport. And even the absolute grip is pretty good. It's up there, like, as good and maybe even better than a contact latex. But the super grip, I mean, the grip on that is second to none. Dimplex, advice for 2v1s. You got smashed in school by your mates because they weren't taking shots. They were just coming like 1 meter to you, and then they passed it around, the other guy shot and scored. I have that issue a lot when I don't have proper shooters with me that are actually willing to take shots from outside. They end up seeing that they're not going to be making too many goals, so they try to only do crosses or only try to 1-2 around the keeper. It's annoying. You deal with it the first few times. I mean, if this is in a shot session, you say like, "Hey man, I'm trying to do shots. You guys can do a few of those, but jump back to shots, please." If it's talking about technique, how you deal with that, first you got to see their touch and you got to take him down once you see a bad touch, which means that you're watching that first pass. He passes it. You should be stalking that ball across the field. Once you stalk that ball and you see that person try to take a touch or take 2 touches, you're running out at them. I mean, you should already be cutting that angle down, stepping towards him, and just get big and let them try to hit the ball. If he makes the goal, but you still hit him, they're going to be scared of continually doing that, you know? Just go and try to get big and shut down the angle as much as possible. Santi Ortiz, come to England. When I go back to Germany, I will probably take a stop in UK and meet up with YouTubers and everything. But that has a lot more to do with me getting back home, getting back to the Germany. Are they better? Are Ross Taylor? What better than the new Adidas gloves? If I could only wear one brand of goalkeeper glove from now on, what brand would you pick? Probably West Coast Goalkeeping. West Coast Goalkeeping has been one of the number one sponsors, number one providers for me. When I had questions about their gloves, they were the first guys to answer, and they were the first guys to really help out the channel. So I have a lot of brand loyalty to West Coast, and I think they have great gloves, honestly. Why haven't I reviewed the Renault gloves? It's a lot harder to find Renault gloves in the stores around here. I actually had to drive all the way to Miami to get these recent Copas and all the other recent gloves. That's a little far for me. And when I found the Renaults, they weren't the top level Renaults, and I want to get like the Renaults that everyone wants to see. So if I end up doing it, I'll probably end up doing it in the next few weeks or so. I've tried to get in contact with Renault, but they have not said anything to me. So we'll end up moving forward from then on. But I do want to review some Renaults for you guys, especially for you, Lewis. I know you ask like every time I do a live stream. Javi GK. Right now, I'm in South Florida. I had to come back to take care of my mother. I will be here taking care of my mom for the time being. I just didn't like my college. I'm from a very large high school, from a very large area, and I ended up going to Newberry College in South Carolina. I don't know if you guys have ever been to South Carolina or have ever been in an area like Newberry. It's really small. There's not much else to do, and I ended up breaking my foot. So like I was redshirted and I couldn't play a bunch of games, so I couldn't even travel with the team, and I just sat at the college, and there was nothing to do at the college. I mean, there was, I think, 1,200 people in the college. So it was a private D2 school, decent program, but yeah, we had a hard time there. I needed a bigger area, and then I ended up moving to Orlando and going to UCF, so that was much better. While you're in Germany, why don't you visit Denmark? I mean, I'll definitely do it. I know that I actually have some friends in Denmark, very, very good friends in Denmark, so definitely. Are expensive gloves worth the money? Hunter, it's all relative. Is it for games? Sometimes, yeah, maybe. Can you get $40, $50 gloves that are just as good as $150 gloves? Probably. Most $50 gloves will not have all of the jam-packed features, all of those smaller things that take a lot more money, and it's especially unique to the other brands, but they will have decent latex and a decent build. There's more than enough brands, and especially you could check your local brands. There's more than enough local goalkeepers, I promise you, that there's a goalkeeper nearby you that played pro that is trying to start up a goalkeeper brand and has some decent level gloves for 50, 60 bucks. So I mean, yeah, you can get 50, $60 gloves, and you can say like expensive gloves aren't worth it. But when you're playing at a much higher level, when you're playing at like the pro levels, and you want to get that extra feature, that extra finesse, sometimes you want to go with those super expensive gloves. It really comes down to you and what you decide is expensive. I would love to come to Ireland and or Dublin. Who do I believe is the most underrated keeper and overrated keeper? I think Hugo Lloris is one of the most underrated keepers. I think people only talk about how great he is after he makes a save, and they don't talk about him whenever they're bringing up the greats. When we're talking about, I mean, Manuel Neuer is brought up every time. I think David De Gea is a little bit of an overrated keeper. I think he's a very, very good keeper, and I think he's top 10. But I mean, people are throwing him up there in top the first three, and I don't think he's a top three keeper. If anything, I even think Oblak is a better keeper than David De Gea, just because Oblak is an amazing goalkeeper. De Gea, don't get me wrong, is an amazing, amazing goalkeeper, but a little overrated in my eyes. Have you ever been to Connecticut? I think so. No, I don't. I don't think I've ever been to Connecticut. Thoughts on Ullsport? I think Ullsport's an awesome brand. Out of Germany, when I was in Germany, they were awesome. They worked with me and they sent out some great gloves for review. They make the best level game gloves, but they also are top level. So you're gonna be paying, top price for those gloves. No problem, Alex. I mean, this is just my opinion, though. I am, there's people who have very, very different opinions and think that I could be dumb. So, this is just an opinion. Don't take it as word of law or anything like that. Yo, okay, what's up, Andreas? You stayed in Lexington. I have a buddy that lived in Lexington. I was coaching Lexington County travel soccer. That's actually the first travel team that I started coaching. I started coaching when I was working at Newberry because I was injured, and I was so bored that I needed to do something, and I started coaching. That's actually really funny. I would definitely do another video on solo goalkeeper drills, Michael. I'm 5'10 and playing U14. Shots are getting higher and harder. Any tips to reach those high saves? First of all, just eat well. Don't worry too much about your height. And then just work on your jump. Work on squats. Work on box jumps. Work on one-footed jumps. Build up power in your calves. I mean, they just feel nice to wear. Look at this. I feel like the Predator from the movie. I guess that's what they were trying to get by with. The colorway is real nice. I mean, everything's real nice. Even on a size 9, I have a little bit of space at the tip of my fingers. And I'm normally a size 10. I also like that they didn't cover the durability latex with any plastic, which shows that this is definitely a different latex. And I was asking this before, and I want to ask you guys this question. So check this out, right? The finger zones, and this is something that Adidas says, that the latex changes from here to here, and you can see it in the latex here. I don't know if the thing is taking it out at all, but you can see this change of color. But when we move over to what was the past Predator Pros, and these were the pros that were used in the 2014 World Cup. This is like the thing. These were the Predators that came out for the best. And here you can actually see there's a stark difference in that they have stitching separating here. It's not just a difference in color, it's actual stitching. And I asked this on Instagram. I don't know if you guys saw any of the questions that I asked on Instagram for people. And I got some good answers. First, they said this style allows them to make it tighter since there's less stitching, there's less bulk around that area. And I actually think that's one of the most salient or best points that you could give. Definitely a much better fit. Other guys were a little more, let's say, critical and said that the real difference is that this was different latex, and now that they're not really changing the latex, they're just changing the color. That could totally be the case. You never know. I mean, I personally think that the latex is a little bit changed, and I think that the real answer is that they were doing it to cut down on space and cut down on weight. I mean, just comparing these two, this is a much heavier, the older glove is a much heavier glove than the newer Predator Pro, and somehow it's still a lot harder it doesn't fit as well as the Predator Pro does. I mean, the Predator Pro, even with this super stretchy, tight thing. The prime knit backhand. It's a seamless touch. So like, look at this. There's no stitching connecting all of this. The only stitching is right here, connecting at the palm. Stitching, 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 but absolutely no stitching on the backhand, which is one of the big things that you're going to see on all brands now. I saw New Balance was starting to do it. I saw that the new Kasper Schmeichel gloves, the One Precision gloves, are starting to do it. Everyone is starting to do this backhand, this seamless touch backhand, or this one no stitch backhand, and it's because it's been revolutionary. Best technique for goalkeeper penalties. Honestly, whichever technique works for you. For Christmas, you're getting the One Glove Company and Adidas Trans Pro. Which should be used for games and what for practice? I mean, the Ace Trans Pro I'd use for games just because it's going to tear a lot quicker. But it's always a good idea to have like the same type of glove in your practices as your games. So if you're going to get an Ace Trans Pro, try to get a true negative cut glove, sorry, from the One Glove, just like the Ace Trans Pro. So you're not going to practice with one glove and then put on another glove and be like, oh wow, this is so different. How do you improve claiming crosses? This comes with practice and reading the ball. Reading the ball is very important. Normally, what I'd say is don't actually take your first step forward. Take your first step a little half step back and then forward. Read the ball, read it, and then go. Make sure you're reading that ball right and then you're attacking it. But never wait for the ball either. The moment you're waiting for the ball is the moment you're giving the striker a chance to beat you. The wrist strap on the Predator Pro, it is an elastic bandage wrist strap, but really the big thing here is this wristband that's mixed with the prime knit backhand. I did make my videos when I was in Germany. I had to again come back to Florida to take care of my mother. In their prime, who is better, Casillas or Buffon? Casillas in his prime was seen as El Santo. I mean, Casillas is top dog prime. He came out from as one of the best. Buffon is a timeless classic. I'd say Casillas in his prime is one of the best goalkeepers to have played, especially because I like his style, I like his height, and I really admire Casillas for everything he's done. And I'd say Buffon is a guy who's stayed at a constant, if not just has continued to go off and like kind of plateau. Still a great goalkeeper. I mean, Buffon is going to be known as one of the greatest of all time, and he's still got some years in him. It's sad to see that he did retire from international ball, but I don't know if he's going to retire yet from Juve, and he might even. I mean, I think they're on into the next Champions League stage. Why do I never review Puma goalkeeper gloves? Because the last Puma gloves that I reviewed for the World Cup were horrendous. I hated them. And I got really annoyed, so it was a lot harder for me to pick out some Puma gloves that I enjoyed. But I'll probably end up picking up some more Puma gloves. I am trying to pick up some of the bigger name gloves for you guys, so you guys can be happy and be like, all right, Alberto's reviewing all of the gloves now. Jurgen Olsen. I do have a few goal kick videos, but I will work on another one for you. I'm definitely open to working on some more goal kick videos. Joan, thank you for loving the videos. Elite Sport, I did review the Reals, I believe, a long time ago. I tried getting in contact with Elite Sport, but they haven't contacted me since then. So whenever they get in contact with me, we'll see if they're down to do some more reviews. I see they have a bunch of new gloves. Fraser Forster, I think he's a really big. I mean, he's got the frame of a goalkeeper. I think he's really freaking good. I don't watch enough of him playing to have much more than a few thoughts about him. Whenever I've seen him play, I've been very impressed by him. Sells or Ulsport? Ulsport. Where in Florida? I'm in South Florida in Coral Springs. It's like 40 minutes north of Miami. Lewis MJ, do I believe the Premier League is the best league? No, I believe the Bundesliga is the best league. I believe it has the best way of climbing up. It has 4 professional tiers, the first through fourth, Bundesliga, second Bundesliga, dritte Bundesliga, and Regionalliga. You can find amazing soccer players in any one of those leagues, and a lot of those leagues, those kids end up going out from second and third and fourth Bundesliga and playing top level everywhere else. I think right now the the English Premier League is doing really well and is going to continue becoming better and better, is because the most money as a soccer agent, as an agent who has sold players in Germany, there's much more money in England, especially in the first division. But to play in the first division, you need to have national caps. There's a bunch of other things. If you're not an English player, if you're coming from the U.S., you have to have a national cap to play in the first division in England. It's the same for if you're coming from most other countries. So it's a lot harder, and they put a lot more rules. So they've done a few things as the FA has done to make the English Premier League one of the best in the world. But I might be a little biased as I was coaching and playing in Germany, but I'm gonna stay with Bundesliga being the top. Bundesliga definitely being the top. Do you want to review the SGT reverse? I want to review the SGT reverse so bad. I was supposedly gonna get the gloves from one of the online stores, and then I had to leave Germany, and everything got lost in packaging. I didn't even get to see what glove came in. I was hoping it was the SGT reverse, but yeah, we'll see if I can get them. I'm gonna see where I can pick up some Nikes. If not, I might just order them offline, and we'll see what we can do from there. When I come to the UK, do I know where I'll be going? Absolutely no idea. This is just I'm just talking, just talking smack right now until I really know when I'm going to be going. I mean, I honestly don't even know when I'm going to be going again. My mother was diagnosed with cancer, so I don't know how long I'm going to be taking care of her, but I'm going to be taking care of her for as long as possible. Alex Rio Frio, thoughts on Pulisic? I mean, I love him. I love him. Keep on doing you, kid. I mean, it sucks. It sucks that the team let you down. It sucks that the U.S. national team and coach and players let everybody else down. But they took an insane amount of experience for a kid who could have been a wonder kid, and now he's gonna have to continue being a wonder kid with only Champions League experience and not have that World Cup experience yet. I mean, they better get him when he's in his 20s into the World Cup. Thoughts on Ederson? He's an amazing goalkeeper. Pep knows how to pick goalkeepers, and there's a reason why Joe Hart was taken out. Joe Hart could not play the style that Pep wanted to play. Pep wants a goalkeeper that is as good as any field player, and Joe Hart is not that goalkeeper, and he never tried to be that goalkeeper. You could see him hoof it up the field, and I don't care how many pundits and how many Joe Hart lovers say that, oh, Joe Hart can pass the ball. He cannot pass the ball like Caballero can. He cannot pass the ball like Pepe Reina can. He can definitely not pass the ball like Ederson. So Pep made an amazing choice by putting Ederson in, and you're seeing it now. Do I think Donnarumma can step up the plate now that Buffon is from Italy? Yeah, and I think that's one of the main reasons why Buffon did what he did. I think Buffon is seeing that these are formative years for a youngster. I mean, he's still super young, and Buffon's probably thinking, I can help him become better than what I was even at, and that's what true class players can do, and goalkeepers can see that. I think Buffon is really opening the opportunity for Donnarumma. I would love to try to play test the Vapor Grip. We'll see what's going to happen. I don't watch enough of Pickford to tell you anything about him, positive or negative. I've heard the name before, but I can't even say I know of a save right now. Thoughts on the FATV goalkeeper sessions? Really freaking cool. I love that they're doing it. I actually was in contact with them. They were supposedly going to invite me out, but something happened and it never ended up. Maybe they heard what I said about Joe Hart. Who knows? But You know, it's we'll see what goes on. I really hope that that it keeps on going. I love that there's more top level goalkeeping stuff, and there's better goalkeeping stuff than I have, because honestly, there's so much great goalkeeping coaching out there that the rest of the GK community, the GK union, can just learn from. I mean, I learned so much from watching top level goalkeepers, and that's what I love to do. I mean, so I love it. FATV, check them out. They have a bunch of goalkeeper sessions. The training is there. That's some real pro training right there. Who will win the Champions League? Let's go Bayern. I'm always gonna go Bayern. You know me. Let's go Bayern. Any German team. Thoughts on the Ace Pyro Clima Weather? I haven't used the Pyro Clima Weather, but I'm gonna assume it's a lot like the Pyro that I've had. The new wrist strap is awesome. You'll love it. I mean, but if you can find this in Predator Pro Clima Warm, I'd tell you to check it out. Now, the difference between this and the Ace Trans Pro, Ace Trans has an extended palm, which I always wanted Adidas to do. I thought it was awesome that they did it, and I think the extended palm is a huge positive. If they could have made an extended palm with this glove, I think I would have my favorite glove ever. And they didn't. They actually kept it as the normal Predator Pros Go. They just ended here. But with an extended palm, that would have been really nice. And with the wrap style, that was not a direct horizontal style, like a direct line like this, but it was more slanted. I really enjoyed that on the Ace Trans Pro. You might enjoy that as well. But this one's got the much better backhand. This backhand, I am certain they're going to put it on all the gloves. I have tried replica gloves. I actually ordered a pair of replica gloves. These are the replica competition versions, or the just a little higher than the replica gloves. I don't recommend replica gloves ever. Replique or whatever, however they spell it, competition. If it isn't the top two levels of the Adidas gloves, if it isn't the Ace Fingertip, if it isn't the Trans Pro, if it isn't the Trans Ultimate, or even the Finger Saves, like, I won't touch them, because this is about 50-60 bucks. I could have used this on a one glove company glove. I could have used this on West Coast Goalkeeping and gotten a much better glove than getting this thing that, I mean, just the stitching it's a shoddy piece of workmanship. Sorry. How often do I train football? Right now, I'm training maybe 2 or 3 times a week, because I have to stay home and take care of my mother. But when I was at the academy, we trained 2 times a day to 3 times a day. What do I recommend for cheap roll finger gloves? West Coast Goalkeeping. I think the One Glove just made a roll cut glove. It's a good one to check out. If not, there's also Go Meta GK, which has some cool roll cut gloves, and there's also NGA, No Goals Against, which has some cool roll cut gloves as well. Thoughts on Neuer? Neuer is the boss. Come on, guys. You know what I know, what I say about Neuer. I love Neuer. I look up to him. He is the king of goalkeeping. Praise Neuer. Best goalkeeper in La Liga? Hard question. Probably Oblak. Yeah, no, Oblak. I'm going to say Jans Oblak is the best goalkeeper in La Liga, hands down. Best goalkeeper of all time? Manuel Neuer. Manuel Neuer. No thoughts. No problems. Thoughts on Loris? As I said before, I think he is severely underrated. I hope that he continues to get the look that he needs, you know. I love Loris, but I think Manuel Neuer is a little bit better. Best latex? Super Grip. Super Grip latex if we were talking about games. I'd say Giga Grip if we're talking about durability. Ter Stegen Hart. I mean, Ter Stegen's up there. Yeah, Ter Stegen's definitely good. Best type to cut? The best advice I have for getting through a run of bad form. I mean, I've been there, and I would think all of us keepers have been there. The best thing is just trying to get your game out of it, try to get your head out of it, and do your favorite drills, go back into technical training. I personally go back into technical training. I'll go back straight into foundation work, straight into catching, straight into doing what feels good. and gets my comfort zone back in. So that's what I would say. Nobody, I can't pronounce his name, Silison. I mean, he was never gonna break in. I personally think they have him because he's got good feet, but I mean, Barcelona it was weird that they ended up choosing him and taking him out of Ajax. I know why. I mean, I would go out of Ajax any day to go play for Barcelona, but he was never gonna start getting time, and especially once Ter Stegen started to really take over. Who's a better passer, Ter Stegen or Ederson? I believe Ederson is a better passer. Are there any tips for upper 90s? Check out my videos on the upper 90 saves. Best rookie goalkeeper. Oh, who's a rookie goalkeeper? I wouldn't be able to tell you. I'd have to think who had a first breakout first year. Iker Casillas. I mean, his breakout year, I believe, was 17 years old for Madrid. That's who I'd say is the best rookie goalkeeper. Petr Cech is a true goalkeeper. He is a guy who really breaks down the science. You watch him and he almost knows where the shots are coming. He can read body shape. And he's a damn smart goalkeeper. I really like Petr Cech. He's one of the kind of statues of the game. He's going to be doing pretty well. I mean, not doing pretty well, but he's going to be known for a very long time. He's a great goalkeeper. Courtois, I think he's a really good goalkeeper. I think he was much better when he was with Atletico Madrid, and he should have stayed with Atletico Madrid. He's having not a bad run of form because I think he's still very good. I just don't think he continued to take off where he was when he was with Atletico. I mean, I would have put him at, top 10 in the world. Now, I don't know. There's enough goalkeepers up there that can really push for his spot. Will a goalkeeper win a Ballon d'Or in the near future? Definitely. Once Messi and Ronaldo stopped doing amazing things, Manuel Neuer was in the running for the past Ballon d'Or, I want to say like 2 years ago. I don't know if he was in the running again this year because he got injured. But, I mean, yes, definitely. Goalkeepers can win it. They will win it one day. It's coming. What do I think about Ederson's save against Man U? That's an awesome save. He did everything that a goalkeeper coach teaches you in a situation that should be a goal for the other team. Get across the goal, stay big, close the space. Once that pass hits you, once the shot hits you, shut down the space again and react. He did everything perfect. Everyone's trying to say like, oh, he was lucky. No, that is practice. It is practice to shuffle across the field, to stay big while you're shuffling across the field, to not turn your hips and run, but to actually stay wide while you shuffle. That's all proper goalkeeper coaching, and that's proper goalkeeper technique. Huge, huge saves. Thoughts on MLS goalkeepers? I worked with an MLS goalkeeper, and he was an amazing, amazing goalkeeper. Amazing hands, very good hands. Very, like, anything that came to frame, he was holding on to it. And that's something that you need to see in a pro-level goalkeeper. The only thing that I'd say that he came to us a little out of shape. And that, maybe you get away with that in the MLS. I think he just, he had a little bit of a break in between the MLS and coming to us, coming to the academy. But he was a damn good goalkeeper, and once he lost that weight, he was flying all over the place. We actually ended up getting him onto a 4th division team, and he ended up playing there for quite a while. Do I think Tim Howard will retire? I don't know. He's making bank in Colorado, and I don't think I don't think it's too hard to be a good goalkeeper in the MLS. I think the goalkeepers in the MLS are very good. Now, don't get me wrong. I think if there's one position that the U.S. makes a lot of great players in, it's goalkeepers. Goalkeepers out of the U.S., they are very, very good no matter what. I personally feel like, and this could be my bias, our goalkeepers have a great showing. Tim Howard was having a great showing. I mean, and we've had 2-3 guys playing over there in the Premier League. We've always had decent goalkeepers. I just think that there's too many mistakes in the MLS that requires for goalkeepers to make amazing saves. I think Tim Howard is getting older, but I wouldn't give up that cash cow that he has playing in the MLS. So he's got several more years, and I don't think he would give it up. Jamie, thank you for watching my stream for the first time. We've been going for about 50 minutes. I will be leaving in about 10 minutes, guys. I got to go out, see if we can get some training with the new gloves in. And we can talk more about the differences between the Predator Fingertip and the Predator Pro. My thoughts on La Liga goalkeepers. La Liga goalkeepers are great. Awesome feet. They have to be able to pass out of the back. They have to be able to deal with crazy shots. They are shot-stopping goalkeepers. If there was any league where I'd have my best chances at, would probably be La Liga or Italy, just because they don't do that many crosses. Normally La Liga goalkeepers are also a lot shorter, but the training in La Liga for goalkeepers is amazing. There's some very, very good goalkeeper coaches out there. Shout out to Jose Zambada, who is killing it. Shout out to all of the goalkeepers over there, especially the Atletico Madrid goalkeeper coach. Would I do coaching in England? Yeah, definitely. There's no question about it. Best U.S. keeper now. I haven't caught up on the new youngsters. You know, the normal argument would be for Andre Blake, but he's not even U.S. What am I saying? He's Jamaican. He's playing in the U.S., so that shows how little I know about the U.S. goalkeepers right now. I don't know if Stephen Fry is playing for the U.S. or what, but I guess he did some pretty good saves in the MLS Cup, I heard, or something like that. Top 3 keepers in La Liga. Oblak, number 1. Navas, number 2. Ter Stegen. I guess we can give Ter Stegen number 3. I mean, there's some good PK savers out there, but yeah, that's what I'd say. Best underrated goalkeeper gloves. There's so many underrated goalkeeper gloves. I couldn't give you a best. I'd say the best priced ones right now are Gometa Goalkeeping, Gometa GK. It's a very, very brand new company. They've been making gloves for a little while now, but they're super cheap. I mean, they're great for their price. Was I ever approached by a pro club? Not a pro club. I did talk to several professional coaches. I do work with professional coaches, and I do train with professional clubs. When I train with my academy, and when I take my academy players out there, I do get to train alongside of them. Coaches never approached me in the saying that they were interested in me as a player. They would approach me and talk to me, say like, oh, you did pretty good, you know, but we don't need another goalkeeper, or you're not good enough to play at our level, which is completely fine and completely understandable. But I was never approached out of a game, or like a guy was just like, yeah, wow, no. That's a lot harder for that to happen. GK Expo, what extra features do I like on a glove? Extended palm. Always. I love myself an extended palm. I love myself some wrist strap going on. And I like a tighter fitting glove with, you know, a little bit of breathability. And that's about it. Those are the ones that really that pique my interest, let's say. Who is the best manager in the world? Pep Guardiola, hands down. Best Bundesliga keeper behind Neuer. Best Bundesliga keeper behind Neuer. It's a really, really hard question. I really like the Hoffenheim goalkeeper. I believe his name is Gregor Corbell. Very, very good goalkeeper. I also really like the team. Actually, guys, if you want to check out another YouTube and you want to see another pro coach, the guy, Michael Rechner from Hoffenheim, I believe it's Michael Rechner at least, but the goalkeeper coach from Hoffenheim is on YouTube, and he's been uploading. You can find him on my Instagram. I can't think of his name right now. It eludes me. But yeah, the Hoffenheim coach is up there, and he's putting up his own videos, and he only has like 1,000 subs or like 4,000 subs, something minuscule, and he should have so much more. It's top level training. So check that out when you guys can. Okay, so yeah, Stephen Fry did have a pretty decent game. I don't know if Stephen Fry is a U.S. national, but I'd say he's probably up there for the recent caps. I don't watch enough Everton to tell you what I think about Jordan Pickford. I'm sorry. I don't like finger saves because I believe in the strength of my fingers, and I am totally sure that I can hold on to most any shots. And finger saves have never really done anything for me other than make it harder for me to close my hands. And I like maneuverability. I like mobility. That's the main reason why I like gloves like the finger save. Not like the finger saves, like the Adidas Trans Pro. Anything with a negative cut, it's super easy to close, super easy to roll my fingers around. With the finger save, it makes it a lot more difficult. Oh, really? That sucks for the U.S. if he's from Switzerland. But it's good for Switzerland. They're going to the World Cup, aren't they? Is he playing with them? Why do I like to use ropes and poles a lot? I mean, when you can use rope and pole, I highly recommend using them. They're top level. I mean, you can work on so many things. Most important thing I think in goalkeeping, once we're talking about advanced goalkeeping, when we're talking about players that are looking to play professional, it's body shape and body mechanics. Once I teach you how to dive and everything, then we're going to get to how we're going to improve your dive and make sure each dive is correct. And the most important thing for that is body mechanics and body shape, stepping into the ball correctly, making sure your chest and body is getting low and under something. So what I use to illustrate that are ropes and posts. It makes you see the angles that we're working on in our mind, and that's why I like to do it. That's why I work with rope and posts at least. ARS gloves soon. I do think I will be making some gloves or a special one-time pair with West Coast GK. I have been in contact with them. If you guys were interested in that, let me know, and I will actually make moves on that. I haven't really been making moves in that area. What's my mindset going into a game? Normally, I'm listening to some type of harder music, maybe trap, maybe harder rap or something. You know, I'm trying to get pumped up. I'm thinking about how I'm going to make those big saves. I'm thinking about if someone comes in on me early in the game, if they put a high ball in, what I'm saying is, you know, set the tempo, hit the first guy who comes into me, so I don't have to deal with many more high saves after that. Who's my tip for the World Cup? Germany. Germany's got a B squad that can beat most first teams around the world. Messi or Ronaldo? Look, I love Messi. I freaking love Messi. I love Barcelona. I also like Madrid, but I also have an insane amount of respect for Ronaldo. And then when you hear about Ronaldo, he is a worker. Messi is a gifted, talented genius, and Ronaldo is just as good, but he's good because he was gifted and then he worked on top of that. He's the type of guy that trains all day. And that's something that even if I don't really like his attitude, I don't like the haughtiness, I gotta respect a man like Ronaldo. And I think every single soccer player should look past any type of attitude, any type of personality, and look at the man's work. And the amount of work, every single manager will tell you Ronaldo is the hardest working player on the field in practice and on the field. I mean, that's huge, you know. So I think he earns the fact that he can say what he can say, because if he wins over Messi once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times, man, he's doing something right. Top extra accessories for a goalkeeper. Weighted balls, different sides, footballs, tennis balls really helps. Just making sure you have something different. So every time you're taking a shot, you're not getting comfortable anymore. You're trying to say like, oh, I got to read a new flight. It allows your body to read the flight and makes your mind kind of have more work on it. Goalkeeping Unleashed. You've been out of form, as have I. Check out this video actually that's behind me right now, and you can look at the solo drills that you can work on and push yourself to the limit. You can do some push-ups, you can do some running. I would recommend looking up plyometric stuff on Google. Plyometrics is everything that is goalkeeping or explosive energy. Goalkeeping is all about creating explosive energy and creating that explosive energy that can last for longer than 5 seconds, make it last 10 seconds, make it do a triple save that might end up being 35 seconds of work, dive, get up, stand up. If you got to do burpees, get down, burpees, do suicide runs. All that stuff is what you should be looking at. Ochoa over Tim Howard any day. I have not read Tim Howard's book. My vertical, I have no idea. I mean, right now my vertical is probably terrible, but I will want to work on that. All right, guys, we're literally going into our last minute before I'm going to try to go out to the field and get some more film for you guys. I do really like doing this for you guys. If you liked it, let me know. I'll be able to do more unboxings and show you guys the Adidas Predator Pros early, try to do some comparisons between these gloves, and I would like to show you guys some of my training film. There's a bunch of training things that I've pulled out, goals that I've let in on me, and even saves that I've had going on me or saves that I've made that I'm not really happy with, and I want to talk to you guys on why I don't like them and what we're gonna do to fix them. And this might actually help you guys out. So I will be doing video breakdowns, and if you guys want more live streams, let me know. Comment down. I'm going to leave this as an archive video so you guys can leave comments and watch this again. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will be seeing you guys again very soon.